40. Inextinguishable. One reviews of all concentration, neither the extinction nor the non-extinction. 41. Diamond circle. One carries the circles of all concentrations. 42. Extinction left behind. One reviews the non-extinction of all concentrations, and views them in such a way that one reviews not even the least dharma. 43. Immovable. One does not waver or vacillate in any of the concentrations, nor does not mind them, or have idle fancies about them. 44. It cannot be overturned. One does not review the overturning of any concentration. 45. Lamp of the sun. It illuminates all concentration doors. 46. Immaculate moon. One disperses the darkness in all concentrations. 47. Bright appearance. One acquires the four analytical knowledges with regard to all concentrations. 48. Illuminator. One throws light on all concentration doors. 49. Mode of the doer. One brings about the work and performance of all concentrations. 50. The ensign of cognition. One reviews the ensign of the cognition of all concentrations. 51. Like a thunderbolt. One penetrates all dharmas, and yet does not review that concentration. 52. Stability of thought. One's thought does not waver, is not diverted or terrified. It never fails, but one remains unaware that this is thought. 53. Illumination all round. One reviews in all concentrations the all-round illumination. 54. Well established. One becomes well established in all concentrations. 55. Jewel cusp. All concentrations appear bright all round, like a jewel cusp. 56. Seal of the best dharma. It results in that all concentrations are sealed, on account of their being sealed with a seal from the very beginning. 57. The sameness of all dharmas. One does not review any dharma as sundered from sameness. 58. Forsaking delight. One forsakes the delight in all concentrations, the delight in all dharmas. 59. The fullness of assent to all dharmas. Elevated above all dharmas, one is nevertheless saturated with them. 60. Dispersing. One disperses and tears asunder all dharmas through all concentrations. 61. Cleaving the verbal expressions of all dharmas. One cleaves the verbal expressions for all concentrations and dharmas. 62. Identifying the letter. One understands the fact that all concentrations have the same letter. 63. All letters left behind. One does not even get at one single letter for all concentrations. 64. All letters left behind. One does not even get at one single letter for all concentrations. 64. Cutting off the objective support. The objective support of all concentrations is cut off. 65. Without modification. One does not apprehend the alteration of any dharma. 66. Modeless. One does not apprehend even the specific constitution of any dharma. 67. Non-entrance into name and sign. One does not apprehend the name and sign of any concentration. 68. Wandering without a home. One does not get a home in any concentration. 69. All darkness left behind. One removes all darkness from all the concentrations. 70. Possessing a manner of acting. One reviews the manner of acting of all concentrations. 71. Unshakable. One reviews all concentrations as unshakable. 72. Surpassing the sphere. One transcends the sphere of all concentrations. 73. The accumulation of all qualities takes place. In this concentration one reaches the accumulation of all the qualities of all dharmas and of all concentrations. 74. The stability of no thought. With regard to all concentrations one's thought does not proceed. 75. Sweetly blooming purity. One acquires the sweetly blooming purity of all concentrations. 76. In possessions of the limbs of enlightenment. One acquires, through all concentrations, the 7 limbs of enlightenment. 77. Infinite inspiration. One acquires in all concentrations a state of infinite inspiration. 78. Equal to the unequaled. One acquires, through all concentrations, the state where one is equal to the unequaled. 79. Transcending all dharmas. One transcends everything in the triple world. 80. Accurate definer. One can delimitate all dharmas and concentrations. 81. Uncertainty. One reaches the dispersal of all uncertainty about all concentrations. 82. All stability stopped. One does not review the abiding of any dharma. 83. One single harmony. One does not review the duality of any dharma. 84. Consummation of the modes. One does not review the consummation of the modes of all concentrations and dharmas. 85. One single mode. One reviews the single mode of all concentrations. 86. Non-repudiation of the modes. One reviews not the non-duality of all dharmas. 87. The penetration which disperses the base of all becoming. One reaches the penetrating cognition of all concentrations. When that has been reached, there is no dharma that has not been pierced. 88. Entrance into the meaning of voices and sounds. One enters into the meaning of the voices and sounds of all concentrations as freed from the letters which constitute speech. 90. Flaming torch. With its splendor it illuminates all concentrations, warms them, shines upon them. 91. Purification of marks. The marks of all concentrations are purified. 92. Undistinguished. One reviews all concentrations as undistinguished. 93. Furnished with the best of all modes. To one who has stood in this concentration, all concentrations are furnished with the best of all modes. 94. Not rejoicing in all ease or ill. In all concentrations one does not review the ease or the ill. 95. Bringing about non-extinction. One does not review the extinction of all concentrations. 96. Wise knowledge of dharanis. It results in that one can bear in mind all the dharanis. 97. Complete removal of rightness and wrongness. One does not review the rightness and wrongness of all concentrations. 98. Appeasing all obstruction and stopping. One does not review the obstruction or stopping of all concentrations. 99. Compliance and opposition. One does not review the compliance and opposition of all concentrations. 100. Immaculate glory. One does not get at the glorious circle of all concentrations. 101. Possessing a core. One does not review the substantiality of all concentrations. 102. The stainless full moon. In this concentration all his concentrations are fully realized, just like the full moon. 103. Great harmony. All his concentrations are endowed with great harmony. 104. Light bringer in every way. It throws light on all concentrations and on all dharmas. 105. Concentration sameness. In all concentrations. 1. Apprehends neither distraughtness nor one-pointedness. 106. Assemblage of all peace and refuge. To one who has stood in this concentration, no concentration can cause strife. 107. Pleased with being independent of a home. In this concentration one does not approach a settling place for all concentrations. 108. Stability of no thought in suchness. In this concentration one does not depart from the suchness of all concentrations. 109. Crushing the misery of having a body. It results in that one does not get a body for all concentrations. 110. Removing the misery of speech. It results in that one does not get at the speech action of all concentrations. 111. Fashioned like the firmament. It illuminates like the firmament. 112. Like space, unshackled, free and untainted. Here one reaches the state where all dharmas are, like space, unshackled, free and untainted. This is the great vehicle of the Bodhisattva, the great being, who courses in the perfection of wisdom. End chapter 15.